Dans une ambiance langoureuse et conviviale, suivez votre émission Qui a raison sur Afro-Web TV et FM Liberté chaque samedi à partir de 14h heure de Chicago et 20h GMT.
Un côté, puis tu laisses ta tête à côté, puis on frappe, on te laisse.
Qui a raison, c'est votre émission interactive de chaque samedi avec des invités en studio et en ligne. Trouvons ensemble des solutions pour les problèmes de couple, partagez vos expériences avec nous, donnez vos points de vue, proposez des thèmes qui vous intéressent sur le +1 319 473 76.
Ils sont fous si je fais son téléphone.
Suivez sur Afro-Web TV et FM Liberté votre émission Qui a raison chaque samedi à partir de 14h heure de Chicago et 20h GMT.
Ok, donc bonjour, bonsoir à tous. Merci de nous avoir rejoints dans l'émission Qui a raison de ce jour. And I think just like it happened last week, to this show, it's still going to be in English because we have one of the speakers is actually an English-speaking speaker, and because of how we just have to go that way. And as usual, the topics are topics that you really like and who want you to actually join us and give your opinion in today's topic. So we are looking at why do successful women, I mean, a woman that is smart, that is successful, why do they remain single? Is it a choice? Is it by choice? Or is it because there are factors that actually push them into remaining single? That's what we are looking at today. And on to this show, I have two major guests that are going to, look at those two, the factors that cause actually, or probably that push women into being what they are, being single. It actually happens to men too, but today we just want to look into why women, that are successful remain single. And as I was saying, the two guests I have is Dr. Jimo Brahimo. Dr. Jimo, good afternoon.
Hey, thanks for having me.
Yeah, thank you. How's the weekend going?
Going well.
Yeah, probably I have to let people know that you are the newest doctor in town right now.
Thank you. Mention it.
Yeah, how has it been so far?
That's been good. I bless God for His mercies. Voice.
Okay, that's
been
great.
good.
Okay, on the other side we have Liz, Bola Tito Adele. Bola, good evening.
Hi, good evening, everyone. Thanks for having me on the show. I'm so humbled to be here. Thank you.
Okay, yes, and then we have the producer in the house, Mr. Roger. Monsieur Roger, bonsoir.
Bonsoir. What's good?
Comment est-ce que vous allez?
Yeah, I'm doing good.
Okay, he's actually doing good. Then he's going to be with us today. And as usual, guys, on this show, before we start, we do have a music that's going to be played, and then each one of you will dedicate the song to. It could be a family member, it could be your wife, your husband, or whosoever. So let me start with the woman in the house. Bola, who are you dedicating the song to?
I'm dedicating it to a special person. I should mention the name.
It depends on you if you want to mention the name or not.
Oh, okay. So I dedicate this to a very special person in my life. I think he's watching this now, so he knows it's right.
Okay.
Right? you.
All right, the special person, I'm sure you're out there, someone is dedicating a song to you. Okay, Dr. Jimo, who are you going to dedicate the song to?
I would like to dedicate it to my wife, Wendy Bremo, for husband sitting me throughout this long journey.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's
I would like to
good.
dedicate music to her.
Okay,
Okay, I
thanks.
think that's beautiful. Monsieur Roger, à vous, à qui est-ce que vous dédiez le morceau?
Yeah, to family, Mr. Moses, and everybody else in Iowa, and all our spectators, of course.
Okay, to all our viewers out there, this song is for you. We'll come back right after this pause. Wow, strongly believe.
Je chante pour les femmes, pour toutes les femmes qui ont donné la vie et qui donneront la vie. Je chante pour vous. Oh les femmes, je vous aime. Honneur aux femmes, honneur à nos ladies. Affronter le pire, elles sont prêtes à affronter toutes les difficultés. Les femmes d'affaires, les enseignantes, les infirmières, les avocates, les journalistes, les femmes ministres, les députés, les directrices, les femmes en uniforme, les secrétaires, les esthéticiennes et les coiffeuses, les tresseuses, les couturières, les femmes battantes, oh, oh, je vous aime. Bisous à vous, bisous, 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 bisous à vous, bisous. Oh les femmes, je vous aime. Honneur aux femmes, honneur à nos ladies. Affronter le pire, elles sont prêtes à affronter toutes les difficultés. C'est la femme qui fait les enfants, c'est la femme qui fait le ménage, c'est la femme qui fait la cuisine. C'est la femme qui gère le foyer, c'est la femme qui s'occupe des enfants, c'est elle qui donne aussi le plaisir. Elles sont des reines, elles sont belles et sensuelles, barbamatiques, elles sont séduisantes.
Et voilà, donc bon retour ici dans le studio. Welcome back to the studio here, guys. I know today is probably we are having some technical issues, and we are really sorry for that. It's not something that happens every day, but we're going to work on that Certainly. Okay, back to the studio. The discussion is on why women that are successful, beautiful, probably that have everything that is required, still find themselves remaining single. And then from my research is out there, or probably looking at things that people have said, I noticed that it's simply because they said, okay, women are they want to be like they like equality. That's one. They want to be equal, and two, they want to be independent. And then my question is going directly to Mr. Jimo. One of the things that women told me, probably let's ask you, is that they said women became independent. At the beginning, they were not independent. They became independent, and for such a reason, men were not raised. They were not taught how to handle such women, women that have success. Men were not raised. Like, and weak men think that a successful woman is a threat to them. How do you react to that?
Well, it's a very funny statement to make because when you say, well, there are just so many presumptions in such a statement. You know, when you say women were not independent, that independence needs to be defined. What do you mean women were not independent? Were they in bondage? Was there any slave trade that women were subjected to? You know. So first of all, I don't think women were not independent, but I understand what they were saying. That is, women didn't have like means of livelihood, which is still debatable. It's not completely correct. It's not completely true. But if you say it is the men that are not trained to handle such women, I would say it is the women who are successful that have not been trained to be wives or good partners in a relationship.
Okay, thank you. I think that's good enough. We are
Because
going
what
to
I'm
debate
saying
on
is
that.
that most women spend all their time from childhood going to school, pursuing wealth, pursuing fame, pursuing status. At the end of the day, they were never taught how to relate in a relationship for a relationship to work. They know every other thing. They are dependent in every other thing, but when it comes to relationship, they just don't know what to do or what to say and how to make
Okay,
it
Miss
work.
Mola, that's what you heard Dr. Jimo just said, that it is not men that were not raised actually to handle successful women. Otherwise, it is the women that did not know, probably, if I got him right, to manage their successful life and then relationship or family marriage. What do you think?
All right, thank you. I'll say nobody has the manual of this is how it ought to be done or this is how it's been done. The manual every lady tends to read is what they see around them, maybe from their background, maybe from their family, maybe happenings around. So based on that, women tends to make their deductions on that and then make their decisions. So if women are not trained on how to like have good experience on how to handle relationship or how to handle marriage, nobody has the manual of okay, go and read this, go and study this. I would say marriage is that school that you will get a certificate when you've not even gone into it at all. That's the only institution. So when that happens, the only manual or the only thing you can be going through that you have to learn from are the people you see around, maybe whatever you want to emulate, because I don't want to make it a religion biased or something now. But aside the Bible lay down principles, it's only what they see around and it's based on what they've seen in their family. So maybe whilst growing up, they had it very rough in their family. A lady will make up her mind that, no, I don't want this kind of thing when I tend to grow up and I won't want to settle for less or go for this. So that boils down to how ladies make their deduction before marriage or how they handle marriage. Does that answer
Okay,
it?
well, yeah, but we are still on. That's not the final answer. We've not gotten to the final answer. So, Mr. Jimo, yeah, I know while she was talking, you had something actually came to your mind.
Yeah, it's a good view to say there is no manual on how marriage should be, what verb vocabulary do you use now? Should be handled or whatever. So it also follows that there is no manual, okay, how women also should be handled. Okay, so if you say there's no manual on how relationship or marriage should function, there is also no manual on how women should be handled. So if you are still blaming the men, that the men are the one who don't know how to handle them, then there is no manual for it. So men too have the right to also handle them the way they like, the way they feel like, the way they see other people around them handle other women. Okay. So that would be my response. My response to that.
Okay, so dear viewers, those of you that are watching us out there, you can now go to YouTube, AfroWeb TV. You'll see us, we are live on YouTube, also on Facebook, AfroWeb TV, or you can go to www.afrowebtv.com/live. Once you do that, you cannot see us live. Now, if you want to participate in the show, you have the number right in front of the screen that you can actually call us directly if you are here in the US or you're in Canada. But if you're in Africa, you can actually go on WhatsApp. You can call with WhatsApp so that you will a little bit like try to economize, instead of using your credit card, as we do say, instead of using the card you have in your hands, you can actually do it through internet. And then the topic is why single women, beautiful women, smart women, they have everything, but then why do they remain single? That's the topic we'll be looking at. And then on the show is Dr. Jimo Brahimo and Miss Bola Tito Adele, and then the two of them are actually looking at, they want to do judgment to this question. And then you also can do what? You can tell us what you think, how you feel about this topic. Now back to the studio again as we're moving on. Bola, yes, let's continue from where we left. Men, like what should a man, who should be a man to you that actually, or what should men or strong men regard successful women as? Because some men think a successful woman is a threat to them.
That's it.
Oh.
So I would say,
how are men a threat? Successful women are threat to men.
Okay, I would say that this present age, ladies are more woke and they don't want any man to come and just take advantage of whatever they've labored for in the years, So once I say that if there is someone very low to you in standard, you guys don't have anything in common as a lady. For example, let's say me right now, I want to start going for someone that is way, way, way below me in terms of everything, right? Now, so in terms of everything, I see that there can't be balance because he will definitely feel threatened. And this kind of person might be myopic, might not see the bigger picture of what you're looking at out there, might not support your career, might not support your goal, because some grew up with mentality that ladies are confined to the kitchen. So they just believe that whatever, even if you like, go and get professorship or whatever, you will still end up being in the kitchen and just be in the home, not doing anything. So at the end of the day, you have to put aside your career path that you've chosen right from time just because you want to satisfy a marriage. Hell no. This generation, I will say that used to happen in the olden days, maybe during our ancestors' time. That time they don't support female, like, okay, you want to go to school. They put them to rigorous exercise, like, okay, you have to be doing farming and all of that. And they grew up being subjected to the man. Lately, what are we seeing around? Ladies are ready to go extra miles. They are ready to say, okay, I can do this thing myself. I can be successful. I don't have to be 100% dependent on this man. And it becomes a threat to a low-life man in that aspect. I'm sorry to use that word, but it becomes a threat to that kind of person because you'll be like, oh, the lady is doing all of this. There are a lot of ladies that are shouldering a lot of responsibility in their home. They might be like they are the one paying house rent, paying school fees and all of that. If you know what you have, you know the stuffs you are made up of, you are not supposed to be doing all of that. That's why you have to go for someone that is on your level. Because if you go for someone way lower, he won't see you like that. He will see you as a threat, see you as a competition. And as a result of that, he won't support your career path or support you exceeding him in her ramification. So that is what is really happening, and that's why I would say women are really taking their time to make the best selections and know what they want for themselves. Yeah.
Women are taking their time so that they can actually choose what they want for themselves. Okay, Dr. Jimo, let's look a little bit from what she just said. A man, really, do men see successful women as a threat to them?
That's a laughable, it's quite a laughable perspective that has been blown out of proportion, over the years. So when you talk about relationship, when you talk about union, whether marriage or whatever you want to, vocabulary you want to use, what men, a man really doesn't want your success, he doesn't want your money. And that is what women don't know. So they just assume. Now, for example, let me lay a foundation. Okay. We started with the word independence, which we have not actually defined. But even before we go further, I want to say the issue is not independence. Men love women who are independent. Let's be sincere. Independence is not the thing. But the problem with women is modernization. Women want to be modern. They don't want to carry out the traditional role of women. And what has happened is that the society too has followed women to evolve. So now we have modern men too who don't want to be responsible, who don't want to carry the burden. Because she said something about standard, which was interesting. Okay, and by standard, let's say education, for example, I have a PhD. Why should I marry a man who has school cert? But there are millions of men with PhD that I know that married women with secondary school certificate. And these men will live with these women, take these women. I know of ones that will take the women to school, pay for their school fees.
But don't you think that when men do that, they do it willingly because they don't want someone at their level? That's why they go down to.
Before we get there, let's come from one perspective first, then we can go to the other perspective. Okay. So if a woman is up there and saying that a man who is down is not her standard, he's already taking little of the man already. Thinking what is needed in a relationship is education. But you hardly see men do that. You see men who are willing to marry women whether they are more educated or less educated. Because the men understand that in a relationship, it's not necessarily what you study in school, the degree that you have, that makes you a good wife. But for a woman, all of a sudden, a man who is less than you in degree is already less than your standard. So the issue there is not just the standard, it's the way you see a human being based on your own criteria. So like where I was coming from, the issue is not independence, the issue is modernization. And if you say you are modern and you don't want to do this, you don't want to do that, men too will end up coming with their own blueprint of modernization. And they will just also want to play around, they won't want to settle with you, they will come to you based on the way you have presented yourself. So you have a PhD in whatever this thing, doesn't mean you know how to take care of a man. Doesn't mean you know how to make a man feel at home. Doesn't mean you know how to make the home. It doesn't mean you can even cook and make your house a home. So that's where the problem really comes from. The problem does not come from the fact that women are not independent or now they are more independent. The problem is that women are defining, like she said, they have their own unseen book of what things should be like right now. And every other thing around them too, including men, are also adjusting to meet up with that. Because you cannot tell me you are a modern woman, you cannot do this, you cannot do that. The men too will come with their own. I'm a modern man and me too, I can't do this, I can't do that. So if you change the post, the other team too will change their own post to suit them for the game to fall to their own, perspective. So the fact that you are educated or more educated doesn't mean you are more humble, for example. It doesn't mean you even know how to talk. There's a way to talk that will bring peace and make your house a home. Okay, so already looking at somebody down is already a sign of arrogance, and that's where all this thing really comes from, arrogance. So let me
Now,
stop there.
I have two questions, but the questions are going cross. Or do you want to intervene to what said Bola?
Not really, but just to chip in something, the bottom line of this thing, of the man trying to understand, okay, this is how things ought to be done now. Some are coming up with them, they are coming to that marriage with the mentality of, you are subjected to me. Do you understand? And so when they get into that marriage, and then maybe the wife tends to have a good job and she's earning more than the man, they start feeling intimidated. Like not like doing evaluations of some married people around, or maybe some people that I know, and maybe the wife is doing well more than the husband, because some men are lazy. Some will leverage on, my wife is okay, and be lazy. We know men like that they're not ready to do anything, and they just want to be there for the woman to be taken care of. No, this is real life. It's no longer in black and white. Like now is real, like everybody is woke. So you won't say you are living off your woman. No, that's the point. So the man must be up and doing, he must support your path. Like this is the career path this person has chosen, and not feel intimidated, and still be in line with your pursuit. That's the bottom line of everything. Seriously. I understand Dr. Jimo's point of view, and at the same time, I'm saying it from examples that I've seen around, and that's why I'm taking my deductions from, right? Okay, thank you.
Okay, well, let's go a little bit back to the background of the whole thing. In every relationship or in every marriage, we know everybody has a role to play, and it seems that each person not playing this role, it's actually what is causing this. But that's where the debate always comes from. Okay, why is a man feeling like, okay, she's a threat to me, now she's having more money than I am, or probably she's successful, she doesn't want to do things that she's supposed to do at home. Now let's define a little bit. What is the woman supposed to be doing at home? What is the man's role? Now, you are going to answer the question that's going to be this way. Bola should be able to tell us what is expected of a man. Okay, we are going in two ways. In a relationship, in a marriage, I'm saying this because when you are legally like attached to someone, I think you feel some things are like obligation to you that is just a mere relationship. Okay, now let's look at it from the two perspectives. So, what do we expect from a man? And Dr. Jimo, what should be expected from a woman in a marriage or probably in a relationship with a man? I mean, a serious one. Yeah, because you just finished talking. Let's start from Dr. Jimo. I think from there we'll get to where we are heading to.
Yeah. Thank you for that question. One important thing that she has repeatedly said is subjection. Why do we see that, a woman playing a part is subjection? And when a man is playing it, it's not a subjection of any kind. So from there, the main thing a man really wants, the role of a woman in a relationship is about what does the husband, the man really wants. And what the woman really needs to do is cooperation. It's not subjection. So the idea of a man feeling, oh, this woman is successful, therefore you cannot be subjected, that's not the idea. The real problem is, will this woman cooperate with me? Will she cooperate with me? Or will she now feel superior? Will she now look like I'm less than standard? That is where the real problem comes from. Not that the subjection, it's not subjection. So the real thing that a woman should be doing in a relationship is cooperating with her man. That's it. Like she said, there's no book. So there's no manual to say a woman should wash a plate, a man should cook. A man can cook, a man can wash plate. Me, I even prefer those things because my mother trained me with it. So there are men who can do it. But if you now marry a man who doesn't know how to cook, are you going to start shaming him? Will you be able to cooperate with him, and cook for him, and then be able to talk to him nicely like a human being? Say, okay, at least help me by learning. Come, let me teach you in a romantic and a respectful way. Or you are going to do as if, hey, I'm not a banker, the head of the bank. If you cannot cook your food, that's your business. I don't want to go into a lot of personal, like she has been talking about experiences. I have a lot of them too from the other side, but I don't want to go into specifics. I just want to try to be general. So the issue here is not subjection. There is no blueprint that these are the function of a woman or the function of a man, or what a woman really needs to do in a relationship is to cooperate with her spouse.
Okay. I asked you the same question, but before you answer, Bola, let me chip in this. In African culture, so we're not talking about worldwide here because we actually try to give an angle to whatever we're discussing so that we'll make it easier a little bit. In an African culture, it's been believed that today is not the same thing, but it's still, no matter what you are doing as a woman, they believe it's just like, okay, you have to take care of your family, take care of your kids, take care of like your house, while the man tries to provide. But today with the emancipation, education, okay, women feel like, well, I'm emancipated, I have to now, like, we have to be equal. That's the question of equality comes in there. Whatever I do, you have to do it too. And then the man feels like, why should I be doing that? For what reason should I be doing that? Now, how do you make your man like actually understand that what you're asking him to do is not out of order, it's not out of rules, it's just probably out of love, or I don't know, like what do you expect from him and how do you make him do that?
All right, thank you. The first is like the man should be supportive, like very supportive. Like my gender, they're kind of weak. So if you have a support system, you'll be able to pull through a lot of challenges. So the first
I hope
thing is
women out there will not, they won't agree with you that they are weak.
Exactly.
to an extent, like women are like weak, like I would say that, But if you have a good support system,
Now,
like
let's frame things out. Let's frame things out a little bit because we are on air. Probably people here, whatever. Now, when you say women are weak, is it emotionally weak?
Okay, yes, I would say emotionally, yeah. Like let's say emotionally, women are weak. So if you tend to have a good support system with you, it helps you stand firm. Even if you're stressed from your work, your daily activities, and you just get home and you get someone to talk to, a shoulder to cry on, a shoulder to lean on, someone has a listening ears for you, you'll be able to feel, oh, I have support in this person. This person is providing me a support. So you feel safe, right? You find the person as your safe place. So that's when you find someone that is very supportive. So, but if the lady on the long run, you are having someone that is not even supportive, doesn't even have listening here for you, you are back from work, nobody to talk to, nobody to share, the person will break down. Seriously. So that's the first one. You have to be supportive. Another point is it has to be transparent in all its dealings and everything. Very transparent and be able to carry your partner through. You understand? Okay, this is the amount you're earning. This is what your spouse is earning. Okay, you want to pay school fees, you want to do that. Okay, this is the fraction I'll be contributing. This is the fraction you will be contributing. Level of understanding. There should be balance because that's what can make them have a smooth, sail in the marriage. And then it boils down to being sincere and being genuine. So I'll say sincerity and genuinity. So I've mentioned 4 things now: transparency, being supportive, genuinity, and then sincerity. Seriously, these are the things that can pull through, and these are the things I think ladies will expect from their man. If you have all of this, and that's it, understand a good level of understanding. It's transparent with me. There's genuinity. It loves me dearly. Like I know that, oh, it's for real. That kind of a thing. You put in all for the success of the home. So that's my whole
Okay,
take on that.
one of our viewers on YouTube says most women want a man that is above them. Hey, is that true? Bola?
Yeah, it's true.
How? Above in what context?
Bobby, it still boils down to what I laid my foundation on, that a woman will not want someone below, you get, because down there he will be seeing it like, oh, this person, the way she's going, one day she'll just put me aside, because of, I can see the path she's taking, like she's really doing exploits, that kind of a thing. But if the guy is up there also in terms of everything, maybe in terms of finances, in terms of exposure, in terms of achievement, if he's up there too, he'll be ready to drag you up. He'll be ready to support you. Like, oh, don't worry, join me. Say for example now, maybe I have PhD and my boyfriend has OND. He won't say, oh, after PhD I say I'm going for professorship. That kind of person will not be like in support of that.
Now, from that perspective, are we arriving at the reason why most successful women remain single? Because men, if women that are successful set those standards, I think men will want to stay away.
That happens a lot, because it happens a lot. But those that know what they have, like, you know, the stuff you are made up of, you won't be threatened at that, because you too, you'll be geared to do more. You will want to go for more because you know the kind of standard of person you want to take as your woman. You won't want to be less to that, because you'll be like, oh, or else, you know, because I'll be like, these guys cannot even think the same way. So you have to have someone that really sees you in that light, and then you guys can reason together, and then you can come up with good things. Seriously, that's what's happening now.
Let me go back to Mr. Jimo. Still from one of our viewers, the same viewer said, a man marry someone below them because they are egoistic set of people.
Okay, interesting. Now, first of all, I want to say, we said something at initial stage that there's no book or whatever constitution to determine this thing, but there's what we call relationship experts. So relationship experts they come out with some, facts based on what is seen. And one thing that relationship experts say, I'm not a relationship expert, but I've listened to them, is that women marry economically up. So that's what we are trying to say. When you say a man that is above, we are talking about a man who has access to more money than
financially stable.
Exactly. So that's what a relationship experts say concerning that subject. Okay. So you and I know of chiefs at least in Africa who didn't go to school, but they have money, they have business all about it, and they marry lawyers, they marry doctors. You and I know all those things. So that's what relationship experts have come out with, that most women. Now, if you want to be negative, you say a man marries someone they are richer than, or they are. If you want to be negative, then that statement is correct, that they are egocentric. That's why. But if you want to be positive, you should give men credit for being able to marry somebody not based on their economic status. Because if you want to be negative on the other side, you will say men are gold diggers. You and I know, if a man wants to marry a woman, the woman has money, all of a sudden the man is a gold digger. Now, if the man marries a woman who doesn't have money, all of a sudden he's egocentric or insecure. We have to be sincere and at least appreciate men for once. Men don't consider the economics of a woman to marry them. They see wife, they have to see what they want in a wife. Once that thing is in you, the man goes ahead and marry you. So if we say they marry somebody who doesn't have money as much as they do, therefore they are egocentric, we are being negative. But in that same negative light, if they want to marry someone who is richer than them, we say they are gold diggers.
But also women, when women come to a man that is rich, they are also seen as gold diggers. Especially when we talk about gold digging, it's a language that is always used against women. So what do we say about that?
Now it comes into context. Like I said just now, generally all over the world, relationship experts have it that women marry economically up. And when they say that, we are talking about percentage, But in a situation where you know that this kind of relationship never existed, it's just like it's a popular chief in Benin, for example. If you can give him a wife, you can help him contract a woman to marry. He will give you a house and a car. The same thing for the woman, everything. So that one is a contractual relationship. It's not, they didn't meet anywhere, they didn't develop a relationship anywhere. You know, you just have someone who is, you know, helping you to contract women, and the women are willing to marry, they don't care, you know, so far they can bring their family out of poverty. In that condition, it becomes too obvious. That's when people talk about gold diggers. There are even situations where you will see a woman marry almost a 90-year-old man, you know, just waiting for the man to die. And we really know they are gold diggers. After the man died, you see court case all over the place with the family and the wife, you know, the young wife that came to marry a man of almost 90 years, you know, at loggerhead with the rest of the family over the man's property. You just know that this one came for the gold. It's not as if he really had any relationship with this person, or they really love each other or anything.
Okay, I think Monsieur Roger, are you with us?
Yeah, I'm
I
with
know
you.
our discussion
Yeah,
has not actually
I'm
gone
with you.
for a long time.
I'm with you.
Okay, yes, we just want to know, do you have something to say? What's your opinion about all this?
Well, I like the way it's being, you know, going on right now, but I don't have, you know, much to say about all of these. All I can say is that all you are talking about is true, to the sense where a lot of men marry, you know, like they don't worry about marrying somebody from another status or anything like that. They marry from because they like the lady and everything. But in the same way, we see a lot of, you know, like women also, they don't, you know, like once they're successful, they become scared. What are they scared about? They don't know if the person who's coming is loving them for their money, or is loving them for, you know, for real. So that becomes a problem where everything gets confused, because I've seen a lot of person who are more like that, and they became successful, but now they don't know the person. You know, they're trying to find somebody, and they don't know if that person is loving them for themselves or is loving them for their money. And you know, those kind of men that they happen to find, you know, go through a lot, because she's going to put a lot of trap to find out, you know, to see if that person is loving them for real or for now or not. But in the men side, I don't see that much. If the man loves you, you know, he loves you. You know, I don't see, you know, a man putting traps for women to fall in to see if they love them for their money and stuff like that. So I think that's why we are getting, you know, women, because women, they, you know, they want a real love. They want somebody who loves them. You know, I don't know if that's how I say it anyway.
Okay, it's right. We'll be preparing to go for a break, but then let me take this message from Tonya. Tonya Slice, it's on YouTube. She said both parties, men and women, should be ready to work as a team, cooperation, and should not be one-sided. Okay, and there's another person that said a man should be intelligent and a solution provider. That's what women want. They want a man that is intelligent and a solution provider. She said, before I think A, he should be thinking A, B, C, D, E, F. So that's the kind of man they want. Anyway, we'll get back to that. Mr. Roger and then Dr. Jimo will actually tell me what they think about that. Why should he be the man that should be the one taking faster and not the woman? So we'll get back to that. We'll go for a musical break and then we'll be right back with you.
Tuelanya Meke upo Meke po Tuelanya Baby, 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 baby Tuelanya I'm strong, I'm strong Tuelanya Cacao trop bon, voix des Oui, cacao trop bon. Poidé, mon nyajo. Oui, cacao trop bon. Otimbe, otimbe. Odunku, peke. Udina hana osanga siagame. Fana fa fa fa. Fana fa fa fa. Fana fa 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 fa. Mon dikbe mukbale na wo. Munglobe aure kale da wena jo. Oui cacao trop bon. Voidé non jo. Oui cacao trop bon. Otimbe. Oui, cacao trop bon. Poidé, on y a do, et do. Oui, cacao trop bon. Otimbe, otimbe. Otimbe, otimbe, no. Otimbe, otimbe, no. Baby, otimbe.
Okay, welcome back on Apple TV, and I have to remind you that this show is called Who is Right? Here, Raison. And today the topic is why the single, successful, beautiful, smart women still remain single. They have everything, but somehow they still remain single. What happened? And then we listen to the guests who have Dr. Jimo, Miss Bola, and Mr. Roger of the production. We've heard a lot. Some factors have actually been raised in this context. And then you guys out there have actually tell us what you think. Messages from Tonya and the second person whose name I don't know. If you can actually send your name, now let's know who you are. Okay, and others, if you want to follow us, go on YouTube, Apple TV, we are there live, Facebook, Apple TV, or www.appletv.com/live. You can actually call us on this number on your screen, +1 319 462 8979, and then you are live in the show with us. And then before we went on break, Dr. Jimo and Miss Bola, what I read from our viewer was that they want a man that is really faster in thinking than women. If I have to marry a man, before I think A, he has to be thinking A, B, C, D. Is it a kind of putting pressure on men, or just how it should be, Dr. Jimo?
It's another interesting contribution. Okay, so which also needs to be dissected. And then when we say there is no book on how relationship should be, right? So we are not. It's like women have their own book, just that the book is not made available to everybody. Okay, so it's still another way of saying, you know, a man should be up there, like what vocabulary did we use today earlier? That a man should be up there, you know.
Yeah, economically up. Standard,
so
okay.
Now this is another standard. Another standard now is intelligence. So your definition of a man is intelligence. Now the question, there are different kinds of intelligence. Some people are book smart. Some people are street smart. Some people are business smart. You know, people have different kinds of smartness. So you are saying a man is not God. A man should practically be God You should be smart in every other set above you before he's a man. Okay, so that's what we're saying. Though I can relate with it. I can understand, okay, because the man is supposed to lead, okay, but it is not possible to see someone who is smart in everything. It's not possible to know everything more than you. I don't believe that there is somebody who knows everything more than you. You know, he might know more things more than you, but not everything. Okay. So that's all I want to say about that.
Okay, Bola, I'm sure you agreed with that viewer that said, well, before you take A, you should be taking A, B, C, D.
Yeah, that's how it's supposed to be. That's how it ought to be. You need someone around you that can give you on-the-go answers, like on-the-go suggestion. Because, as I said initially, that women, we are emotionally fragile and we are like, okay, this is my shoulder that I'm leaning on. So you won't expect me to be going through all the thinking, why are you there? So a man should be there, like right there on the spot, able to come up with good suggestions, able to carry the family along. Do you understand what I'm saying? Like able to know that, okay, this is it. I have to be very fast in my decision taking and to be able to direct, like maybe, let's say, for example, they want to change accommodation or something, and you are leaving it for the wife to think about it. No, it's your role. It's your duty. You know what is suitable for your family. You know what is good. Then
You mean, now let's go back. We're talking about there's no book, there's no, how do you think is his role, is his duty? Where is it written?
So it boils
Is it
down
naturally
to him.
assigned to men?
So it boils down to him also be very smart. You know, the question you asked me was, is it true that a lady wants someone that will take the decision on the spot? Like, whilst me, I'm still thinking A, he should be thinking A, B, C, D. That's why I said, that means in terms of intellect, is ahead, is up there, is very fast and thinking.
But that's not what happened when we go to school. Between boys and girls, men and women, we're in the classroom. In classroom, nobody thinks like, okay, because we are girls in this class, yeah, we want men to think faster than us and get the best answers than we. What is it that is in the relationship that this kind of like marriage, that's where this kind of mentality comes up? It's still Bola, my question still goes down to you.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. This one is marriage, it's relationship. It's different from we're in class. In class, they are testing our performances in terms of what we've learned and what we've read. Now, nobody is teaching you this one. As I said, you don't have the manual. So you are the man of the home. You are the decision maker. Like, we are supposed to be together, like we are taking decisions together. But I need you to be way ahead up there. Like, you know, you have your foot standing and you're well grounded. So you should come up with good decisions, make firm decisions, and, you know, be ahead. Then you now share with me, oh, so wife, what do you think about this? Then I'll be like, oh, you're thinking. Then I know that, oh, this man is smart. Not like I'm the one now thinking for you before you now say, oh, you have sense. No, let me see it and know, yeah, I can deduce, oh, my guy is very smart. Like, it helps in decision making, and I don't have to go through rigorous exercise of me having to think over and over and over before I can come up with decisions. You know, that's it. That's what a lady wants. Like, come up with ideas, constructive ideas, good ideas, you know. That's the spice in this thing, though. Seriously. Come up with good ideas, good suggestions. Then I'll know that, okay, this person is up there. Like, you're way ahead. You're thinking far. You're looking at this union futuristically. You have beyond. You have actually gone beyond the present time. You've gone ahead and thinking for, oh, this is the betterment of what I want for this marriage. So you'd have looked at it like bigger picture, right? So that's why a lady will expect you to have B, C, D, whilst me, I'm still thinking A, right? So that's it.
Well, Dr. Jimo, well, I know if I still ask you, you'll say there's no book, but women have a book.
now, like the example she gave, it's an interesting one, and I want to take it up from there. So if I marry a woman who is into real estate, and I'm not into real estate, I'm into banking, and we want to change apartment, and definitely she will have more ideas more than me, right, about real estate, because that's what she's into. So if I'm unable to give as good ideas as she will give, then all of a sudden the relationship should pack up because she's into real estate and she's better than me in that area. Is that what we are saying?
When that question go back to Bola, I don't know.
Yeah, that's not what we are saying, right? That's not what we are saying. What we are saying here is based on how spontaneous he is in taking decisions for the betterment of the family. That's why the person that sent the message said, if I am still thinking A, he ought to have seen beyond A and see B, C, D. And I said yes. And I used that as an illustration, right? So if she's
And I was just saying, that was what I was asking. No, if I was thinking biologically, was there any studies, any tests that shows that when the two people are thinking, men and women, like the man's brain has to go faster than woman's brain? Is there anything like that?
That's why I said in class, in academics, is different because that one we are being tested on what we are taught about. This one is about the relationship. And the only exam we've done together is that he has seen the bigger picture of what we are bringing together into this family, right? So he has looked at the family futuristically. So you've gone ahead thinking about the good and the betterment for us. So whilst I'm still thinking about you as the man, you as the head of the family, you as the leader of the, like, you're up there. You should be. That's the hierarchy, right? So you should be the decision maker, like not like impose your decision.
We are supposed to finish soon, but let me ask you this, because it's more on women. The topic is about women. You should be able to talk more on this. You have a woman in the marriage where he has the money, he has everything. Like, probably is earning better than the man. So, which means her taste is actually higher than the man's taste in some way. And now, you want the man to take a decision whereby he knows that any decision that he takes is going to fall back on his financial pocket. So, which makes him to actually limit whatever he thinks. But then, the woman sees that he's not thinking fast. That's not what you're expecting from him. Because what you want from him is not what he's saying. Based on you, based on what you have, he should think than that. Like, he should think of better things. So, in that situation, how does a woman rather understand that the way this man is reasoning is based on the capacity he has?
Okay. That boils down to my point where I said we're being supportive, transparency. Let's know how much you're bringing on board. Let me tell you how much, because when it comes to house rent, maybe you want to have this kind of contribution. You might just say, oh, bring a quarter, I bring a quarter. But I would still expect the man to put down more. Right? Yeah. Because you'd be like, okay, I would still expect him, like, oh, you're bringing more than my fraction. So you might do 60, I might do 40. So based on the level of understanding both parties have, and then you know his source of, you know his livelihood, you know the amount of his income, right? So you can say, okay, oh, I know this is what your take home, and then we can base our expenditure on this, right? So that boils down to, okay, you know this, so you tend to make your whatever, like, availability based on what you're expecting from both parties. But if he's like way up there, like he's well-to-do, he's above in everything, he can shoulder all the house rent. It's not a big of a deal. In Nigeria, a lot of people, like, women don't even contribute to house rent. But in America here, I understand how it plays out, right? Like, everybody here has to bring this one has to bring this one, just trying to be supportive. So even if you're in Nigeria, back at home, Africa, especially Yoruba mentality, I would say, okay, they will expect, okay, you are the man, you should be able to provide for your family. You are the head of the home. So, okay, you want to do 80%, then I will support 20. And it's not even compulsory at all. You should foot it all. That's norm, right? So that's why.
Dr. Jimo, you should pay it all. That's the norm. That's the norm that has been set. Now, let me. Now, even if we stay here till tomorrow, we'll still continue with this debate, this discussion. We're actually rounding off, and I want you, whatever, like, any chance you have to say now, say what you have to say, and then give us a conclusion, like an advice, or what do you think people should do? Let's start with Dr. Jimo.
Okay, so what she said now is very interesting, and that still takes me back to the difference between independence and modernization in quotes. So we should be careful. There's one thing that I have seen, especially people who come from different cultural background as the Western culture. We only look at the things that seem to be good and pleasant in this culture that have accepted modernization. We are not looking at the ills that such a thing has brought. So we should not just look at, this modernization mindset, you tell yourself a woman is not independent without defining what independence really is. And then you go into this. It sounds appealing, but in practice, the family unit will just be broken. And when the family unit is broken, the whole society is in trouble. And that's what we see in most developed nations today. Okay, and then I will finally want to let women know, men don't want your money, they want you to be independent, but the question is, can you cooperate? Do you know what it is to be a wife? Do you know what it is to treat a man? Do you know how to talk to a man? Do you know how to make a man feel like a man? Do you know how to build a home? That's the main issue. Nobody cares about your degree. If you have it, that's fine. Nobody cares. No man cares about the money in your pocket. If you have it, that's fine. But at the end of the day, what will make the home a home and the relationship a relationship is you knowing how to cooperate with a man.
Okay, that's good. Thank you. And then Bola, from you recently, just I think 2 days ago, we saw, should I call her Mrs., but let me just say the judge, Justice Ketanji Brown Jackson, actually now becoming the Supreme Court judge in the US. And then if you watch a little bit, the whole scenario during the vote and everything, I know she married a white man. No, we don't want to talk about that, but she married the man. We just want to talk about a man. The man was there, supportive, he was standing. I see pictures and people actually reacted on the man's behavior during everything. He was there, he was standing. Their daughter was there beside them. So, which means also we can see this kind of cases in the relationship where the man is standing, so the woman gets to whatever level she wants to get to in life. But then generally, what do you say to men and what do you say to fellow women out there?
I would say that get yourself a man that will support you in all your pursuits. Don't get yourself involved in anything toxic, anything that is going to affect your mental health. You don't need it. There is way better things ahead out there for you. So if you are a woman and you choose to be, you're smart, you're beautiful, you're successful, and maybe presently you're in a relationship of whereby the person is below standard, and if it makes you happy, all well and good. So I would say women should go for where they are happy and where they think they are safe. That's my conclusion.
Okay, women should go to where they're happy and where they think they are safe. That's where we'll actually stop today. I want to say a very big thank you to Dr. Jimo Brahimo for accepting the invitation and then sharing, with us from his, basin of knowledge. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you.
And also down to Miss Bola Adele, thank you so much for your, your knowledge, for sharing. I know we are not experts in that field, but we are just here to share on whatever we think is right. And then this show calling Who is Right or Raison doesn't mean at the end someone is right. Everyone just provides what they think. And also to Tonia and to every other person out there that was watching us, we say thank you. And this is where we stop. Back to the studio to Monsieur Roger. Thank you so much for the production. And then if you have anything, if you have recommendations, if you want to say anything to us, you can actually go on our website, www.afrotv.com. If you want to watch other shows you have, go on YouTube Afro TV, Facebook Afro TV. You have everything there. Till next time, I remain Horeb Anthony. I see you on Saturday.
Nos ennemis sont tapis dans l'ombre, ils cherchent à nous faire tomber. Nos ennemis sont tapis dans l'ombre, ils veulent nous faire couler. Nos ennemis sont tapis dans l'ombre, ils cherchent à nous faire tomber. Nos ennemis sont tapis dans l'ombre, ils veulent nous faire couler. Pendant que nous on se bat, ils passent tout leur temps nous critiquer. Et quand ça marche pour nous, ils nous envient, ils nous jalousent. Ils cherchent à nous détruire. Ils nous mettent des bâtons dans les roues pour nous faire tomber. Mais nous on va avancer. Nos confidents sont nos assassins. Les meilleurs amis sont nos ennemis. Ils nous souhaitent le mal, mais Dieu va nous bénir. Nos ennemis sont tapis dans l'ombre, ils cherchent à nous faire tomber. Nos ennemis sont tapis dans l'ombre, ils veulent nous faire couler. Nos ennemis sont tapis dans l'ombre, ils cherchent à nous faire tomber. Nos ennemis sont tapis dans l'ombre, ils veulent nous faire couler. Ils cherchent par tout moyen à détruire ce que nous construisons. Ils nous torpillent, ils font semblant de nous aimer. Tout ce qu'ils savent faire, c'est de chercher le défaut des autres. Ils complotent contre nous, et c'est les mêmes qui nous lancent des sourires. Ils cherchent à nous faire tomber, nous empêcher d'avancer. Vois Nema Oudro Makpe Miadjemou, Nema Oudro restera debout. Leur plan ne marchera pas, ils vont demeurer ce qu'ils sont. Vois Nema Oudro Makpe Miadjemou, Nema Oudro restera debout. Leur plan ne marchera pas, ils vont demeurer ce qu'ils sont. Okpananya somianchi, et nous kedro oblona somianchi. Newa sobe nous konami, juste pour nous salir. On s'en fout des jaloux, on s'en fout des ennemis. On s'en fout des jaloux, on s'en fout des hypocrites. On s'en fout des jaloux, on s'en fout des ennemis. On s'en fout des jaloux, on s'en fout des hypocrites. Nema Oudro Makpe Miadjemou, Nema Oudro restera debout. Leur plan ne marchera pas, ils vont demeurer ce qu'ils sont. Nema Oudro Makpe Miadjemou, Nema Oudro restera debout. Leur plan ne marchera pas, ils vont demeurer ce qu'ils sont.
Dans une ambiance langoureuse et conviviale, suivez votre émission Qui a raison sur Afro-Web TV et FM Liberté chaque samedi à partir de 14h heure de Chicago et 20h GMT.
Un côté, puis tu laisses ta tête à côté, puis on frappe, on te laisse.
Qui a raison, c'est votre émission interactive de chaque samedi avec des invités en studio et en ligne. Trouvons ensemble des solutions pour les problèmes de couple. Partagez vos expériences avec nous, donnez vos points de vue, proposez des thèmes qui vous intéressent sur le +1 319 473 76.
Ils sont fous si je fous son téléphone.
Suivez sur Afro-Web TV et FM Liberté votre émission Qui a raison chaque samedi à partir de 14h heure de Chicago et 20h GMT.